Good morning, traders. It is 7:26 on the 5th of January, 2018. 2018, man. Ugh. I have to get used to that. Sit over here a little bit. All right. Camera. Sweet. All right. I want to go over something real quick because there's going to be a little video on here, but if you're using the portal, there's going to be a couple of videos that are going to pop up right away here pretty soon. But if you're using the portal, you can resize these windows to make it bigger. It's always weird to see yourself in these pictures. And then also the education libraries here. I need to add more stuff to it. That is my bad. I'll be getting there very, very soon. I've been saying that lately. I just need to do it. Then we'll have live education components here. Past live sessions are right in here, so you can watch these. That's actually quite a few we've done together. They're all in here. The signals. Now the signals component here, this is almost finished. I talked with one of the big cheeses at Forex Lens, and they're almost done with this. So the trades that you see on the right side of the window will be able to be put in here, and they'll stay here for the for paid members. You'll be able to see these, and I'll try and get those over there. So this is getting to be a lot smoother. I love this interface. These guys have done something that nobody else really has. It's very, very fancy. So yeah, we'll be doing that here pretty soon. Now let's take a peek at what our markets are doing. If you remember yesterday, yesterday's trades. Well, let's go back to the day before, on the 4th. We had let's look at gold first. We had a short at 320. That trade did work out, but then came back, and then yesterday I wanted I wanted to go short at 1312 because we were coming up with the top of this channel here in overbought conditions. All it did was really go up. Right now though, we are in a kind of a touch and go area. It's finding support at this harmonic. This angle has not come back to be down below. It's too steep. It was only tested once or twice. So the next support angle is the one we broke out of a while ago down here. But this angle right here is going to be our support angle. And so for right now, because we're a ways from it and we are finding supportive buying at this level, touchy to go short here. Very touchy to go short. It's easy to want to go short, and in fact, I still have a bias on short on this gold trade because we are coming down quite a bit on the 8-hour. We may see a bit of a pullback on this price. A break and a hold below that gold just shot up there. Oh yeah, because we have big econ news coming out. That's right. We have non-farm payroll, and I don't have my phone with me. I probably left it upstairs on the kitchen table to see those levels. So yeah, that's the big news that's coming out right now. We'll see how the trade goes. I'm not even sure what the report is, but it's always volatile at this time. I do not. I'm hands-offish for a little bit while this is going on. I'd like to see where the market's going to go. The thing is, though, is that if we go look at the euro, for example, let's see here. It's a big push up there on the euro, but we'll see what happens. I'm just looking for what the numbers were. I don't have any of my new stuff pulled up either. Yeah. because that really doesn't matter. We just want to see what the price action is doing. So gold, looking at the euro. Now the euro had a nice little jump up here. The euro is in a bit of a hairy area. If we go down to the daily, we're getting some pretty bearish signals here. You know, the highest that we're going to see price go here, if we get a big old rally, is going to be it's going to be on this trend line, and that's a little ways up from us still, because we are in really, really overbought conditions. We are, on the daily, we're in overbought territory. We have a divergence on the daily. On the 8-hour, this is more telling. Here is we have a continuing divergence in price and oscillator here. This divergence where we have these higher highs, but we have lower highs in the oscillator. It's not ever a good sign. That is a sign of exhaustion. That is a sign of moving too far too fast. I still have my bias is not long still, even though this is a strong trend. The probabilities in my style of trading and just looking at these are that because we're in all these extended territories, we are well beyond our natural momentum lines, and we are approaching at the end of a time cycle. On the right here, I wrote on the 3rd that look for reversals and culminations on this date, especially if price were to return to this area. We need to be very careful of that. Any higher movement is dangerous for going short and for going long, but I still have a strong bias for this returning a little bit. But that may not play out. Again, you know, things move how they want to move. We had yesterday on the euro, we're short at 2060, and then and at 2136. Yeah, 2136 is where the ideal area for price to go for a short. That really won't change today because we're kind of back to where we started. We haven't really gone far this week. Yeah, and then buying back at 120.21, that's still in the cards because, you know, if we return to there and really strong oversold conditions on our oscillators, that's going to be a good area. To the pound euro, I didn't put a trade up there yesterday because this guy's just been I mean, you couldn't have when did I start drawing these? At least the 26th or 25th? Not the 25th, but the 26th. That these were just going to bounce around in this channel. That has not changed. This has been I've really enjoyed this trade. It's been a pretty a good one. I did get stopped out up here. When was that? Yes, no. What am I thinking? Over here? I don't remember. Wasn't very long ago. I mean, I had a kind of a tight stop, but otherwise, this has been a pretty fun trade. It's just really respected this entire structure, and it's respected these angles. It's not strong enough to go through either way. But if we look at it long term here, if we fan out a little bit, this guy looks like he wants to go up. Now, this is a big deal right here. Right here, this is a pretty big deal where price is getting to. It's highlighted area. Okay, we have a confluence of a whole bunch of angles, and the most important one being our 45 right here. Now, depending where price is at before we get to it, that's going to be a little interesting. There should be a lot of volatility here. We won't get here till the let's see, the 6 p.m. according to the hourly. not till 2 in the morning on the 10th. Now, 2 in the morning Central Time, that is right when we're getting a whole lot of activity from the London Open. That is a volatile area. How will that play out? I'm honestly surprised that the euro pound pair here is not doing stronger against the pound, but like I said, that this pair seems to like and respect these movements and levels more than other currency pairs. The other thing I was going to say, now I'm back to that, is that on the portal with the chat feature here, that you can write to it, I believe now, maybe, ask a question, and then I can actually read it on my Telegram here. So I want to make sure that there's some type of interaction between you guys and me, so I can answer questions or do some analysis on currencies that you want me to. That's the big goal here. But again, back to this trade. This area is, I really don't see a lot of change until we get to the 10th. This is just going to continue to bank around. Let's see. Watch for the 0.8898. All right, this could be really telling. Where is it most likely to go? Just based on probabilities. Not exiting the oscillator. What angle has it respected? Has it been testing? This 45. This 45-degree angle has been tested a lot. It has found support a lot. If we get to it, the highest probability trade is that it stays up and it respects this line. This is all a whole bunch of consolidation and coiling. It'll depend if our oscillator if our two oscillators are going to give us kind of a heads up of what's going on. For the time being, it's not. We're kind of in, we are neutral, but tending to have a kind of like an oversold bias on a short-term look here. So I should continue to let it, turn around and bank up and down through here. It's possible that this thing will break out one way or the other. When that happens, there's a couple areas to want to go long or short in, but the issue is you don't want to get in early because breaks of the 45 want to test again before they break down again. So we only want to get in when that retest happens. If it happens today and I'm not here when it happens, that's just a move we missed, but there's thankfully a whole bunch of others. Let's look at the pound dollar. That had a lot of positive response to those to that econ news release. It's still in a selling zone for me. I'm not considering the movement right now to be honest. Or if you've been trading for any length of time in currencies when these news releases happen, unless it's something like really drastic, like Brexit, things tend to return back to normal, if not in that same session later on in the week. There's very rarely do these economic releases just change everybody's mind after one release. So yeah, it's again, if you've noticed, if we always had these good news releases for the dollar all year, but the euro keeps going up against the dollar. There's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, that's really great for the euro, because the euro's been really beat down ever since 2000. What? I can go look, but it's been forever. All right, the pound pair. I still like the short on this. I don't see any reason why not to. These oversold conditions. 153. So what do we got? 160 there. 160. 136. It's the good zone. All right. Dollar yen. This guy's been just on a tear, really. Now, this is also like one of the weird things. If you see me like moving around a lot, it's because I use a standing desk and I shift my weight. So don't look at my image if it's making you sway. We have a lot of supportive buying off this. Old trend line still working as support. Looks like, we'll see what price likes to do here. It did have some responsive selling after these overbought conditions. But if you notice, these two pairs do not move often. The dollar yen pair, the UJ and the EU pair, they often never they move the opposite of one another. However, for a few weeks now, a couple weeks, they've been trending up together. They've been moving a lot together. I guess not for a few weeks, but for the last ever since January. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what I'm talking about. But they've been moving together quite a bit. The dollar yen pair, your supportive area right now is going to be this 12.9 zone. That the yen trade for us has been good. Let's see. Yes, on the 4th, the trade was. Yesterday's trade was the 3rd. Or that 2 days ago was the 3rd. So that was at a break of 112.46 and a retest. That the yen UJ's been a pretty good trade for us this week. Been a good trade for me this week. I have liked it. Yesterday was a long on a pullback to the 112.8, 112.7. That's, I don't know if we'll get there, but certainly if we get back up to the 13.25, 13.23 here, that'd be a pretty bullish move. I'm not going to put that one down here, but because I feel like that's kind of a chasing along there, but the big point is we have a lot of resistance. At 113 and at our angle above in like the 1.3 in the 1134. Ideally, for a big long, we want to get way above this angle here, and we want to get back above these angles that we had a lot of struggle to maintain over here. So really, if we get back above these angles on that 3rd test, because again, these angles, they weaken over time and they get less strong as the more they're tested. So we should see some more movement up there. And I want to go back to gold, take a peek at that real quick. All right, yeah, gold, it's not looking so hot right at the moment. We may get a return to the value area. Again, the short from yesterday may still be good because before you have these economic news releases, you often do see, whatever people think the news is going to be, if they think it's going to be good, it'll move in the opposite direction of what you think it's going to before the move. So, yes, then I want to take a peek at the euro again. What do we got going on here? Euro, ooh, yeah, it's getting hit pretty hard. This could be the start of the move that flushes this pair down a bit farther and back below here. You certainly, we may have had people that I actually just accidentally hit the chat button on TradingView, which I never encourage anybody to look at or read because it's full of horrible information and just a bunch of trolls. But this guy's comment, wow, non-farm payroll is trash and Euro doesn't seem to want to go higher. All right. That's a good example of why people get frustrated during these news reports because they think, oh, it's bad news for the dollar, then this pair should go up. Well, all that we've had is good news on the dollar, and the euro just continues to go up while UJ goes down. So, I mean, there's a lot of other fundamental reasons for that, like money supply, interest rates, those kind of things, things boiling underneath the surface politically. But otherwise, like I said, you're going to drive yourself mad trying to figure out a reason beyond technicals on why price is moving a certain direction. You'll save yourself a lot of stress if you just trade a chart and nothing else. And then recognize that fundamentals are movers of price, but not all structure. The fundamentals will move price temporarily, and that news releases can shift you out of a position because of increased spreads or a stop run. So you got to manage your risk. And anyways, we're going to get back to the Forex stuff. I want to go over to cryptocurrencies real quick. Here's my crypto chart. Oh yeah, I put all these up. My wife really wanted to know last night what it is I do exactly every day. So she asks that every once in a while. I try to explain it, and yeah, it's a good test for me to talk to somebody who is not only a therapist, she's a psychologist, she's a psychodynamic psychologist, one of those real ones that gets in your brain. But I'm actually going to try and get her to come on here to talk about the psychology component of trading, because that's what kills your account. It's not your trading. It's very rarely your trading strategy, your trading style. It is your brain. It's how you're responding to fear and anxiety in the market. That's what destroys your account. Because really, I don't remember who the trader was, but he said that maybe it was Paul Tudor Jones or one of the turtle traders. They said that they could give you their system on how they win, and you could follow it. But they say that it's like what I say. If I gave you the entirety of my system on how I make money, it doesn't matter because you don't have the emotional skin and thickness and callousness to stick with the trades that go against you a number of pips. I have a very high pip tolerance loss right now. I'm okay taking a 300 to 500 pip loss. That's fine for me. It took me a horribly long amount of time to get used to that. But, if I have determined on a long position or a short position over a longer time frame that price is going to go a certain direction, I just know that I will lose money mostly if I decide to second guess myself after I've already done all the work to convince myself of the right decision. All right. If you've been with us all week, I've been saying that 1660 should be our 1 week target, and that we should get there by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And it looks like that is happening. We got there actually, this movement a little bit. I thought we would get there over the weekend, but apparently Bitcoin wanted to rise up fast back into the 45 and into this arc. So, my trades yesterday on the cryptos were these. They're still there. Let's see. Yeah, it's been the same all week. Anywhere between 15,000 and 1250 is long for Bitcoin. First profit target area at 16,660, and Ethereum, we want to pick it up anywhere in the 900s, between 945 and 990. Those are buying zones. This trend line does not matter anymore because this guy's just coiling up here. moon cycles. There is one other thing I want to point out to you on how to on the forecasting business and how we can get these accurately. Right here, I have these thin pointed lines. And if you're asking, well, how do you know where price is going to go in a certain amount of time? I've never shown this to you folks, but I want to now. You may have seen something like this before, you may not. But it is, where did I put it? This guy. This is called a square of 9. This is Gann's square of 9, or he called it the master time and price calculator, or he called it the odd square. He has a whole bunch of other ones that he called them. But this is part of the art of forecasting in Gann, is using this tool. The application of it is too long to, I need to do the webinar on this, but the application of how this helps with forecasting is that each number here is represented on a degree, and I have really, this is what we're looking for, a degree and a date. So move that out of the way. What is price at right now? 120.63. So I say, instead of, I get rid of the $1 component, I just call it like 206. So you find 206. This travels, around, okay, clockwise. See how my cursor is going around and around and around and around and around. So I look for 206. And we are back over here. So 206. Right? Yep. And there we go. And that is, wait a minute, did I look at the wrong one? Maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. Forgive me. I only pulled this up right before I got on with you guys. I wanted to check to see if I had these levels right. So 1204 was at the 180. Where are we at? 180. Oh, yeah, no, that's right. Okay. So 204 is on the angle represented on the square of 9. This is technically a pyramid. Gann did not develop this, but he found this in India and at the pyramids. He found this it's like a square root calculator, a very old one. And so he figured, well, if people way back when were using a natural structure to work things out, then clearly it still works, and he's pretty right. The man was a mad scientist or a genius. But anyway, so 204. So if we look at $1.204, we put that on here at 180. Now 180 degrees is what 180 degrees sounds like. It's where something turns around. So the highest probability trade around this area is that price returns to a lower area. And so we look at the square, and we have to work backwards towards the angles. So the next area we're looking at for resistance is 120. That's more natural. But we really, things matter most in 45 degrees in this kind of stuff. So 190 is the next, followed by 197, 190, 183. Anyways, as we're going through this, though, there are dates on these angles as well. And so you can forecast dates according to where the trend is at. And that's where I get a lot of my forecasting is if there's a lot of confluence of the angles and all that jazz, then I know where price is going to go in the short term. Gann, he was able to project price over years. It was nuts. So really, I mean, our biggest bias here is that the euro goes down a lot, from 204 to 180 degrees from there is our no, sorry, that's not right. 978. Yeah, 176. So that would be the next area of support. That's where price in the euro should return. If it does not go at least and test these other price levels below the 180, then we just churn higher. Really, the next thing we get the 121 handle, we get the 121.8, and we just keep going higher. But the most probable direction, based on the momentum and the velocity and the speed of price, is that we get back to 176. And that says that they may happen all. Does it make sense that we would drift there on 3/21, the 21st of March? Probably not. We got to look for dates that are closer to where price is right now and at an angle. And I'll tell you right off the bat that the euro finds support and resistance areas on the 90 and the 45 and the 180. These levels are where the euro finds most of its support. But so we're on January 5th, January 13th. Where's a probable price location near where we're at? We can look at either 122, 166, 118. So 166 is 116 is the next big area. That's all the way down here. Does that make sense? Have we stopped there before naturally? Oh yeah, we have. Look at that. Again, Gann, how I approach the market is a natural process. It is treating these markets not as random aberrations. It is treating them as natural structures where they repeat patterns and they are slaves to time and their level of vibration. I know the stuff that you'd never read on sites where they sell you crap. Sorry, I shouldn't call it crap, but they sell you stuff that is not helpful. But I have spent pretty much half of my life. I'm 35. But I worked in another field for 12 years before this. When I turned 21, when I got done with school and worked in healthcare, mental health care specifically. It's where I met my wife. Now I do this, and I will tell you that my length of study and in the markets and trying everything that has lost me money, Fibonacci retracements, entering trades on Heikinashis, which is a horrible thing that killed my account a few times. Trading with nothing on the chart, naked price action trading is really effective. Actually, I'm not gonna diss that, because naked price action trading is very profitable. There are excellent. That's how I learned. One of the things I learned to become profitable is naked trading, they call it. But I know what has worked for me to become profitable in the market. I know what has not worked for me, and I know from experience of working with other folks that most of the stuff out there does not help. So I hope that what I'm bringing to you here at Forex Lens is going to bridge the gap between your interest and love of the market and then add some tools to it that is going to help you find success. Because I just don't want to send you signals. Okay, I'm not in the signal selling business. I am willing to give the signals as long as you understand how the signals are being made, because otherwise, you know, if you've ever subscribed to a signal service and it's probably the same as taking a trade yourself. You put in the order, you watch it on your screen, it goes against you, leave, and then you see, oh my gosh, it probably actually would have made money. It's difficult to, I mean, you wouldn't take a medication if somebody gave you a pill and said, take this, it'll help you with your whole life. Would you just take the pill without trying to figure out why you should take it? It's the same with the trade. You should never take a trade blindly. That is a very dangerous thing to do, and I'm not in the business of giving out dangerous things to do. So I want to make sure that you know what you're doing or why you're taking it. I want to go over these trades real quick, enough being preachy. Look at Bitcoin. Oh, that's on. Yep. Excuse me. It's winter here, and it's dry, and everybody's got a cough in the family and all around town. I live in a small town in South Dakota, not a city, if anybody's wondering. Okay, let's look at gold real quick. Man, I'm looking at the wrong charts. Was I? Oh yeah, no, I was looking at the right one. I just need to drag us down to the hourly. Bring up gold. Gold. Yeah, it is still finding support there. This was this bar that just closed. I mean, this was after the news release. We'll see what happens. Very big volume bar, but it did not go up any higher. That's not a good sign. It's a sign of weakness. The euro, it has kind of returned to where it was trading before the report. That is a fairly bearish. Well, you could call it bullish too if you want to, but you know, for the way that this guy's been behaving, this is a pretty bearish signal. We have been stuck up top here without getting to reach 2100. That is a sign of weakness. Like I've been saying, in Gann's important dates, January 3rd through the 7th, are generally where the yearly highs and lows are going to be set. And wherever price is trading, if it's trading above that area between the 3rd and the 7th, then you can consider price to be bullish. If it's trading below the areas that were between the 3rd and the 7th, then you can consider the trend for the year to be bearish. So what are we doing here? 3rd through the 7th? Because we will open on Monday on the 8th. So whatever ends today is going to determine whether this is going to be the floor or the ceiling of the year. All right? Until we get to kind of the middle of this month again, and then we have to wait all the way till July. Those are the Gann dates. But for right now, this is looking pretty toppy, pretty heavy. I'm not long. I have a short bias. It's you know, unless we get some like typical to have some like reversal to the top side because it was bad news. You know, we'll see what happens. Again, I do not like trading these days. Well, I trade these days. I just wait a couple hours for things to settle. I would really suggest anybody do that. These are not the best periods to trade. Euro pound. Euro pound did not respond to that news well. And then the pound dollar, yeah, it's a little weak there. And the dollar yen just kind of hovering. I mean, it was in overbought conditions anyways on the hourly, but you know, we still got a bias for some movement. We should look to this trend line as support still. Ethereum. I never did talk about Ethereum. I got to do that quick before we end our day. Oh yeah, I did talk about Ethereum. It's the same trade. I thought I put that in there. Oh yeah, I did. Oh, it's a Friday. All right. Well, I hope you guys had a great week. I hope your entire holiday season was fun. That you had some visit with your families. You took some time off from the markets, recharged your brain. Next week is the first official week, full week of trading, which is awesome because we are after today we are officially done with the doldrums of trading for the year, for going into the year, last part of last year. That week before Christmas till today is the worst time of trading, and we're going to get some return of normal volume, which we have. We're going to get some more trading opportunities, and I think we're going to have a great year together. I encourage you all to sign up and join us. I think we're going to have a very profitable year together, and have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.